everybody. It's Dr. Mia here, and welcome to the STEMspired podcast, where we spotlight rising leaders, bold thinkers, and real stories from the front lines of science, tech, engineering, and medicine. Today's guest is Frank Sandulu, and he is a passionate STEM scholar, future innovator, and a name you definitely want to remember. From the classroom to the research lab, Frank is someone who's been paving his way with curiosity, clarity, and confidence. Whether he's leading in academic spaces or mentoring the next generation, his story is a powerful reminder that persistence, purpose, and representation matter. So, in this episode, we'll talk about his journey, the pivots and pressures that he faced, and how he remains grounded in his goals while inspiring others to do the same. And with that, I want to completely welcome you, Frank. Thank you so much for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I know we gotten a chance to get familiar with each other some, but our audience has not gotten a chance to interact with you yet. So can you introduce yourself both professionally and personally?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. All right. So my name is Frank Sandulu. I'm a biomedical scientist. And then I'm also a founder and executive director of Biomed Connect. So Biomed Connect, this is an organization that was formed to create, a dynamic platform that unites biomedical sciences students and professionals worldwide, fostering collaboration, knowledge exchange, and technological advancements to enhance patient care. All right. So I'm so passionate about helping students in biomedical sciences, so that they can gain clarity, confidence. So I'm also an advocate, a mentor, and also a storyteller based in Zambia. I think this is something that I can share for now. Yeah.
I am so happy that you're out here giving people that motivation and that clarity that they need because I'm sure you know biomedical science, the career is not linear. There's so many different ways that you can pursue in biomedical science. So I'm glad that you're here to help pave the way for the future generation. So, what inspired your initial interest in biomedical science and research?
Oh, wow. Great question. All right. So, briefly, I think I can say it was about curiosity about disease and health. You know, um, you know, where you just see people are getting sick, people are dying, or maybe somebody died,
Mhm.
maybe cancer, but you don't really understand, what goes on, like why somebody dies. You hear of their doctors, their scientists, then you just become curious, like what is all this? So the curiosity made me to say, okay, I think I can love to become a scientist. I realized how lab diagnostics save lives, and I was
Mhm.
like, I think this is my thing. This is my thing. Yeah. And another thing that inspired me to do what I do and to love biomed is I saw how confused many students were in the field. You know, so it made me to step up. So even the birth of Biomed Connect, it is because a lot of people in Zambia, especially where I am, and many African countries, this program, biomedical science, is not that known, and it's kind of undervalued. Where somebody didn't even hear of it, they wanted to make medicine and surgery, but they find themselves doing biomedical sciences. That confusion. Somebody's
Mhm.
not motivated, they're not inspired. So because of that, I was like, I think we need to come up with an organization that can create, that platform that can guide these people and, give out the clarity and the confidence that they need. Yeah, I think these are some of the things that made me to just, be inspired to do science, you know.
That's such a beautiful perspective and a wonderful way to think about how we need more unity and community through biomedical science. And the fact that you started your platform, Biomed Connect, I love how the name emphasizes how connection is important. In order for all of us to be able to get to where we need to be, we always need a support system in place. So I feel like I've gained a support system through following your platform, and I'm sure others have too. So I know you have Biomed Connect. I'm sure you experienced some unique challenges and opportunities. So can you talk a little bit more about that? What have you encountered in STEM as an international scientist?
Right. All right. So let me say that these challenges are some of the things that made me and the team to think of Biomed Connect. I would talk about challenges like lack of mentorship in main parts of Africa. Just like I said earlier, a lot of people are getting into biomedical sciences without prior information about the program. So this is causing people not to be motivated, people not to be inspired. Even if they can finish this program, they get their degree, they start working in these laboratories. These are people who are not motivated. Even the quality of
Mm-hmm,
work they're doing in these industries will be compromised because these are people who are just there because they are there, because of circumstances. So
mm-hmm,
lack of leadership, is a big challenge in many parts of Africa. So we thought of coming up with Biomed Connect and, mentor, especially students who are in their first and second years so that they can understand the field. And we know that people who are mentored, you
mm-hmm.
know, they are people who have that clarity and confidence to stay and do big things in the field. So another challenge that even made us to also come up with Biomed Connect is a huge gap between theory and practice in biomedical
Mm,
education in other STEM careers. So, in many African countries, like for example, my country, Zambia, a lot of these universities and colleges, there are no proper laboratories and machineries to make our people to do the things that they learn in classes. So it's mostly theory, and
mm,
theory isn't enough. It doesn't make sense where you are just giving students books, notes to read, and they're not doing what they're actually learning. So as Biomed Connect, we have this vision of coming up with a research laboratory, a research and clinical laboratory where our students in many parts of Africa, they should be coming and do their internships so that they can
mm-hmm.
appreciate. Yeah, and we are starting small actually. So we are getting some point of care equipments so that we start small like that. They appreciate the science. We will be upgrading as we have as we push. We shall have the research lab that we want. So in these challenges, like I've talked about, lack of mentorship, the gap between theory and practice, limited lab access during trainings. These are the challenges that we turned into, mentorship opportunities by coming up with Biomed Connect. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mentorship is so critical while going through these opportunities or trying to get these opportunities. Like, at least I can speak on my perspective. We heavily focus on practitioners in the US, like physicians, but there's not a lot of people that are really going into biomedical science. So mentorship is a huge thing, and I can only imagine the barriers internationally, specifically where you are, and you getting in there and giving others hope and letting them know, like, hey, I started off here too. I didn't know what I was doing. And now you're able to help those students who feel the same and give them the inspiration that they need. So that is a very powerful thing that you're doing.
Thank you.
So, absolutely. I know you talked heavily about advocacy, and I can tell that advocacy is a big part of who you are, what you do. So I really want to know what motivates you to continue to advocate through outreach with Biomed Connect for more inclusion and access to STEM careers and different opportunities.
Wow. Thank you. All right. So, like my background, just to share a bit more about my background. I grew up actually in the village, okay, where STEM careers were invisible, totally invisible. Like the people that I mean, the things that people in the village could see, like maybe clinic officers because of the clinics, the police officers, maybe some nurses. These were the only people that people, many villagers could know or see. So growing up in the village, I realized that I think exposure to STEM can make our community stronger.
Mm,
you know, can make our community stronger. This is my belief. Exposure to STEM makes our community stronger, you know, because if people can be exposed to many careers in STEM, I think someone can even find out to say, okay, this is what I'm good at. But here is somebody who only know of a nurse, What if the whole community become nurses?
mm-hmm,
So I think this is something that I thought, because my eyes have been opened. I've come to realize
mm,
that there's a lot that people can do in our villages. I think let me take it upon myself and advocate for people to be opened. Their eyes have to open. So when we have a lot of people going to STEM, I think our communities will be stronger. So like I said, a lot of people do not have an idea of who biomedical scientists are, or what
mm-hmm,
laboratory is. I had a conversation with some people, asking them about what do you know happens to your blood sample, to your urine when taken to the laboratory. So when I mentioned blood, some of them were telling me that you guys are actually satanists. We don't even know what happens to our blood. We don't know what you do with our blood. So I was like, okay, so this is what people know, that they don't even understand the science behind all the samples that we get. So I think people need to know what we do. So that's why I took it upon myself to advocate for this, going into secondary schools, these primary schools, letting these students, these pupils know about biomedical sciences, so that even as they are trying to decide on which career to go for, which program to go for, they know there's biomedical sciences. If they're interested, they can go for it. I think these are some of the things that pushed me, to make sure that people are opened up, yeah, and change the perspective about biomedical sciences and STEM. Yeah.
You touched my heart so much. I was trying to hold back tears. I'm like, let me just smile and not. That was that. Oh my goodness. I was so touched by what you said, especially talking about your life experience. I think a lot of people where you are can definitely resonate with that. I really am inspired and admire how you came from your background and your roots, and you transformed your story and made it into your own. And you saw hope, and you're giving people who have a similar lived experience to you hope. And I think that's super powerful. And people, even in the US, they need to understand and they need to know that, there are people who really have had to work extremely hard to get where they want to go. And it takes a group effort for all of us to advocate, especially, I enjoy being part of Biomed Connect because I can connect with other students internationally. I've worked with a few international students with Scholarly Scouts, and I tell you, I feel very fulfilled hearing you guys' stories and how you transformed, you know, where you came from into a dynamic, inspirational um platform. So thank you for sharing that. I know I just got on a tangent, but that really touched my heart, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So my next question, I know you are all about leadership. I can tell you were born a leader and you continue to lead. So, how do you translate your leadership skills between the lab and your community?
All right. So to answer the question quickly, so for me, lab work teaches precision, commitment, and accuracy. Why? Because for me, in every sample that I receive in the lab, a life depending on that sample. So I have to do it with all precision, with all my commitment and accuracy, because I know that there's a life behind the sample that I receive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, community work also demands clarity, empathy, and trust, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I lead in both with the same intention and heart. Yeah, I lead in both with the same spirit, with the same heart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And lab built my confidence to lead publicly, I can say. So my leadership journey started when I realized how big laboratory medicine is by taking up leadership roles, from
Mm-hmm.
being a representative at university, being the vice president for the Student Association for Biomedical Sciences, being the president for the same uh, Association for Laboratory Medicine, going as far as being the national president. So all those, they have built my confidence, yeah, and shaped me to lead with that heart. Yeah, I think that's what I can say.
You have done and accomplished so much, and I, from the moment that we got a chance to interact, I can tell that you are genuine and authentically being a leader, and you genuinely care about the communities you serve. And we we need more of that in the world. People who really genuinely and authentically show up, and they have heart, they have spirit, and they are doing things with the right intentions. So that's a powerful thing that you're doing. You've touched lives where you are, beyond, your community, and even right here in the United States, you are inspiring all over the world. So keep doing what you're doing and keep leading with that heart and that authenticity, because you're going to take off, and I just know your future is going to be so bright.
Wow, wow. Thank you.
Absolutely. And one of the last things I want to ask you, with your talking about your lived experience, your leadership roles, the importance that you have with advocacy, what advice would you give young scientists who want to lead, but they don't necessarily know where to start?
All right. Okay. So I want that young scientist to know that they can start from anywhere. Okay, they can start from anywhere. So, like I shared, the journey of Barmet Connect. This was just something burning inside me to say, I can be in the same shoes like any other students. They don't understand, but at least my eyes have been opened. I think I have some clarity and the confidence. Why not start something that would, you know, help a lot other people? So that's how we started. You know, right now we are connecting students and professionals from different countries. Maybe 11 plus countries. This is something big. So I must say that a lot of people have ideas. Okay, a lot of people have ideas, but they usually wait for perfection. They
Hmm.
usually wait for someone to say this is good, this is okay, you can start. But as long as you are passionate about something, it can help people start from where you are. When you are passionate about something, something that I know is that when you are passionate about something, your consistency and how well you are doing it, people will be there to support you. People will be there to assist and give you advice. And another thing that I can say is that when you start something, it doesn't mean you know everything. So
Hmm.
you also need mentors. You also need advisors. So even at Barmet Connect, we do have people. I have people who are older than me, people who know more than me, people that I go to, ask them, how can we do this? We have this idea. We want, ideas from you and just help us. That's how we do it. When you have an idea, show it also to the world. You can post, you can tell the world about what you are good at. It's not time to hide what you know. Maybe you wait for perfection and say, let me have money. So all these barriers they may make people to not to proceed with what they actually good at. With Bomet Connect, we started with nothing, with just
Mm.
passion, financial challenges, they have been something that has been, fighting. But with the passion that we have, people come through. Oh, you have this initiative, we may help to just give you this and things like that. So it's about what you love, or what you are capable of doing. I mean, people who come through and support. Don't wait for perfection, I repeat.
Wow. I like I said, I'm lost for words. I've just been inspired by this entire conversation, the impact you've made, the heart and spirit that you put into everything you do. I mean, you're really changing the world out here for real. I just want you to know that you're doing a wonderful thing and that I don't know if you get many pats on the back, but I am saluting you hard right now because you are doing things as a game changer. So congratulations on everything that you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so I've definitely enjoyed our conversation and I'm sure our viewers have too. So how can our scholars connect with you?
All right. Okay, so they can connect with me on LinkedIn. I think my name is Frank Sandulu. I don't know if they can spell that correctly, but yeah, that's my name. On Facebook, the same name. Instagram, the same name. And my email is franksandulu@gmail.com. Yeah, I think that way.
Well, you guys have several avenues to connect with Frank Sandulu. And that's a wrap on today's conversation. Frank Sandulu is a trailblazer in the making and a voice in our STEM spaces that we need more of. If you took something from his story, maybe a moment of motivation or a spark of direction, do us a favor and share this episode with a friend or a student who needs to hear it. Be sure to follow the STEMspired podcast for more stories that uplift, educate, and empower. And until next time, keep learning, keep dreaming, and stay inspired.